What's up, everybody? I'm Fran Mirabella here with Operation Kinect, as we're called here in the office. We're not called that at all. This is Ryan Clements. We got Jack DeVries and Arthur Gies. This is the review team for Kinect. So we wanted to get together and talk about what we think about the system now that it's hit stores. So my first question for you guys, by show of hands actually to make this fast, if you didn't already have Kinect here in the office, who would buy it or did buy
it? I think I would.
Is that raising your hand?
No. I mean, well, I would buy it, but the problem is that there's enough room in my apartment for Kinect. Which is one of the problems, with with the hardware.
The same way. I have to play it physically. I have to stand on my couch actually to be the maximum amount of distance, and that's not going to work for me.
Really, for the play experience. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
I had to use the Pythagorean theorem and some physics to get it to work.
But you said that you would buy it. So what was your motive?
As a matter of fact,
you did. Look at you.
I mean, I actually did like Kinect Sports a lot, but watching the significant other play Kinect and hearing other friends of hers and just friends in general talk about Kinect was like, well, I guess I should probably buy this one. It certainly wasn't for any of the interface stuff, though.
Which is interesting, because the only reason I'd buy it is because, all right, I guess I have the expendable cash and I want to be, in on it. But other than that, I'm just not compelled to go after the games and stuff that they got going right now. So that leads me to my next question. Who was this system built for? What do you guys think? Who was this for us, the IGN reviewers, or?
It seems to be built for a former club dancing dad who has a young daughter that's really into animals.
Yep.
Wow.
Yep, that very specific person is going to love Kinect.
I think I saw that in their marketing material.
Yeah.
From what I've seen, women seem to be their goal. Women from the age of 20 to 40. Particularly from their marketing and who they're reaching out to, with their sort of media blitz.
But that's just right now. I mean, I think there's a lot of potential for people like us that might not consider Kinect at the moment to be the ideal hardware for a normal gameplay experience. But
well, yeah, I mean, that's been my perspective, is it's really not for us right now. I'm sure Microsoft has its ideas. It might even come out for Windows or something at a later point in time, but just the game lineup is so for family. It's for people who want to buy board games and stuff and play the Wii, right? Don't you think? They're just trying to get the Wii market, right?
I mean, I think, would you guys agree that Kinect Sports, I feel had a lot of content, but I feel like Dance Central was probably one of the only more, if you could call it, hardcore games, even though it had a very,
It had core appeal, yeah. I mean, it's very pop culture friendly and very, obviously Harmonix has a really strong game production pedigree.
It looked cool.
Yeah, and bridging the casual core divide.
But just with the hardware, where do you guys feel that it succeeded, actually? If I can throw that out there. Arthur,
I mean, it works. It certainly works better than it's worked any other time we've ever seen it.
Wait, you're just oh, well, it works. I mean, that's not succeeding at anything. Right?
It is succeeding given how badly we've seen it at every trade show this year. It's never worked properly. It's always been really slow.
That might be because of the not ideal conditions.
Right, I mean, there are lots of reasons why it may or may not have worked, but the point was that it looked like a mess.
It was troubling.
Before, and now, generally when you're doing stuff, it does what you want it to do, unless you're playing Adrenaline Misfits or Fighters Uncaged. I mean,
it's rough software off. Some of it is just a little rough.
For sure, but that's the case with a lot of hardware launches, and I think that the hardware has a ton of potential. I think the only problem that I doubt that they will be able to fix is that perceivable but still small lag that you kind of get when it's displaying your entire body on the screen. You move your arm, it's very close, but you can tell it's not
one-to-one.
It's not entirely, it's not entirely there.
It's funny when I jump over, I haven't played a ton of the move, but I'll jump over and use the pointer, and you're like, oh, it just feels so much better because it's perfect. But I have my problems with moves. That's another discussion.
Right, I mean, I just think it limits the kind of games that we're going to see that use Kinect only, and I'm totally okay with that because I don't want to live in the world where they make a Halo game where I aim like this.
Right. But then that means that we might not see those traditional kind of games. We might see something that would appeal to people like us that's of an entirely different variety.
And it's kind of funny that Kinect feels like it may be a chance for Japanese studios to really do creative, interesting stuff again that this generation has sort of seen them stumble on in a lot of cases. All the interesting hardcore appeal games that have been announced for Kinect have been announced by Japanese studios.
Like Child of Eden as an example?
Not even necessarily Child of Eden, because that's not Kinect exclusive, but Steel Battalion is going to require Kinect.
I always forget about Steel Battalion.
It's gonna be crazy.
And the 4 million buttons.
There's that Project Draco game, which I guess is the spiritual successor to Panzer Dragoon, and I have no idea how that's going to work. So that could be interesting. But
Yeah, I mean, that kind of touched on like my last point here, which is like, where is this going into the future? And I think that means both for the mainstream that's buying it now, and I do think that they had a successful launch. But yeah, other than these announced games, like what do you see next? If you had to pick something, for me, it's Mass Effect 3 with like menus and voice commands that I can use my Kinect for, in addition to the controller. Do you guys have any thoughts on the future of Kinect?
I think that'd be great.
Yeah, I think that's cool.
horrifying.
But yeah, I want to see innovation. I don't want to see people trying to force Kinect into games we already know and love and know how to play. I want to see people come up with new ways to play games. I think that's the whole point.
Right.
I think that's what we're going to see. I mean, I think we could get back to maybe a more old school kind of arcade feel. Sega was doing a lot of stuff with motion tracking, like in arcades, and it's possible that we could get some really cool things like that. Police 911, mocap boxing, stuff like that.
I just think it's interesting to play games that involve your entire body that feel intensely physical, like Kinect Sports feels that way and Dance Central feels that way. And even Kinect Adventures to a lesser degree is something where you have to be physical with your, like fully physical, not just like, I'm moving my arms around or I'm moving my arms around. And that was one of the cool things about Kinect Sports was that I felt active playing it, you know?
Yeah, like you can play volleyball and you're just like getting
Right,
into
like
it.
jumping in the air and looking like an idiot.
Totally.
A
Yeah,
good
so-
kind of idiot.
So yeah, we should wrap things
thanks.
up. I agree. I think we hit the nail on the head with all this. It was a fairly successful launch for mainstream consumers, but for people like us, I think we're still waiting. And
But the potential is there.
the potential is there, and I
sure.
think they can even improve on the technology that's out there. So thanks everybody for tuning in, and for more on Kinect, hit up IGN.com.